Coming up on your 5 News at noon, it's been 30 years since the abduction of Morgan Nick. We'll have a look back at the case and how you can watch a 5 News Plus special on where the investigation stands today. And President Trump sends National Guard troops to downtown LA after a weekend of violent clashes between law enforcement and protesters.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News at noon.
And thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon. I'm Jacob Luthi, joined alongside meteorologist Stephen Elmore. Sunday showers bring Monday flowers. What did we do to deserve the sunshine this morning? It was a nice day waking up today.
Yeah, it was nice waking up this morning, and over the next couple of days, good news for us is finally a few dry days in a row, mostly dry days. We watch out for a few spotty showers here and there, but when it comes to significant rain chances, those don't come back into the forecast until the end of this week, going into this upcoming weekend. Let's take a look outside right now. Beautiful blue skies out there this afternoon, already into those upper 70s and low 80s. You might notice out there a little bit more comfortable today. Again, that cold front passed through overnight last night going into this morning. So again, it's still going to be warm this afternoon into those 80s, but a little bit cooler out there, about a 5 to 10 degree difference from this time yesterday. Here's a look at Northwest Arkansas. The rest of the day today, nothing but sunshine all day long. Those daytime highs reaching up into those low 80s this evening. Looks great as well across the river valley. We'll see those afternoon highs still into those upper 80s, so still warm for us, but sunshine the rest of the day should be pretty nice. Dry days coming up over the next few days. Rain chances by the end of the week. We'll talk about it coming up.
Well, today marks 30 years since 6-year-old Morgan Nick disappeared from an Alma ballpark. Since then, the FBI, local authorities, and Morgan's family have been seeking answers. In October last year, investigators named Billy Jack Links as the suspect in this case. He died back in 2000 while serving time in prison for a child's sexual indecency. Since her disappearance, Morgan's mother and the organization she founded have been working to help find hundreds of other missing children. In this 5 News Plus special back in May, we spoke to her about the organization.
I think the ability to stand with other families and to make sure that they have every resource available, it strengthens our family, knowing that we've changed how this is done and that we see children and missing adults come home safely.
You can take a look back at this now 30-year-long case in a 5 News Plus special called Morgan Nick, 30 Years of Searching. An escaped Arkansas inmate, Grant Harden, is back in custody. He was a police chief in Benton County before he was sentenced to prison for a deadly shooting and rape. These are photos taken of Harden shortly after he was captured by search teams on Friday. Both the murder and rape happened in Benton County, so the escape had authorities on high alert. He was on the run for nearly 2 weeks and was tracked down in a wooded area about 1.5 miles from the prison. The Department of Corrections says they found him thanks to the sharp noses of tracking dogs and relentless efforts of federal and state law enforcement agencies. But before the manhunt came to an end, Republican Senator Tyler Dees and fellow lawmakers sent a letter to the state's prison board calling for a full review of his escape, demanding answers on how a man as dangerous as Harden could just walk out.
Because we obviously have a problem when the worst of the worst offenders are escaping and out on the streets. Mr. Harden is a violent offender. He's a psychopath murderer. In fact, there's a reason we locked him up.
State Senator Dees serves on the legislative subcommittee and oversees the state's correction system. But beyond the escape itself, he says the incident raises deeper questions about the state's overall prison infrastructure, pointing to the ongoing debate over building a new correctional facility. The Arkansas Legislative Council will meet later this month. Now to the latest discussion on homelessness and housing insecurities in Fayetteville. Mayor Molly Ron met with citizens over the weekend. 5 News reporter Parker Abels was at the meeting and has more.
Public meeting hosted by the city of Fayetteville gave residents a voice to share their concerns about the rise in homelessness in Fayetteville. Mayor Molly Ron took the forefront of the questions and explains why she believes this meeting is so important.
Part of being mayor and part of being a leader is listening to the concerns of your community, and I want to make sure that I'm providing a platform for people to be able to do that.
At the meeting, there were many people voicing their frustrations with the lack of housing availability leading to homelessness in Fayetteville. Mayor Ron says people believe the city leaders need to do a better job.
What I'm hearing is a lot of frustration, a lot of helplessness, a lot of feeling like this is a problem, that homeless in our community is growing, and I don't think people feel like we are adequately managing it and that we are helping people in the way they need to be helped.
But she is committed to solving this with the help of everyone in Fayetteville.
The city recognizes that this is not something that we can solve with a quick fix. This is something that needs long-term solutions, and it's also not entirely up to the city alone. It's all of us. It's all of our community. It's churches, it's businesses, it is the university. And so working together is something that's going to be really key as we move forward.
And the community just wants answers.
They're homeless. They don't have anywhere to go. The shelters are full. And, this seems to keep happening, over and over.
Homelessness has been around for a long time in Fayetteville and everywhere else. It's not like it's new. Yeah. It's a matter of, well, what are they actually going to do?
In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Parker Abels, 5 News.
Well, Hog fans are celebrating today as the Razorbacks are returning to Omaha for the College World Series. They defeated the Tennessee Volunteers in 2 games over the weekend. The Hogs faced off against pitcher Liam Doyle in this series-clinching game, ending his day after 3 2/3 innings. The final score was 11-4 as Arkansas won their first Super Regional in Baum since 2019 and punched their ticket to the College World Series for the 12th time in program history. And after the win, the Razorbacks celebrated with fans at Baum Walker. Next up, Arkansas will face a familiar foe, LSU, in the College World Series this weekend. And you can follow all of our coverage of the Diamond Hogs' quest for the College World Series with our free 5 News app. And in other news, Bentonville Animal Services are reminding people to be alert for bears this time of year. These are some images from past stories we've done on close encounters with black bears in local neighborhoods. Animal Services says they've had reports recently that one of the animals has been around Thaden Field. And if you happen to see one of the bears, they say you should stay back and report the sighting to their emergency communications department. The National Guard troops have arrived in downtown Los Angeles following a weekend of violent clashes between officers and immigration protesters. Cars were set on fire and vandalized, with a large group of protesters blocking LA's 101 freeway, one of the busiest in California. This prompted President Trump to bypass California's governor and deploy 2,000 National Guard troops.
He said, look, you got to take care of this, otherwise I'm sending in the troops. That's what we did.
Governor Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass are calling the move inflammatory and unnecessary, urging calm while asking the White House to pull the troops back. President Trump says the deployment is necessary to restore order, and the U.S. military confirms 500 Marines are standing by if needed. So far, dozens of arrests have been made and multiple officers injured in the unrest. Now to a developing story out of Las Vegas, where police are investigating a deadly shooting. Authorities say 2 people were killed late Sunday night on the Las Vegas Strip outside the fountains of the Bellagio Hotel and Casino. Police say the suspect and victims may have been feuding on social media before the attack. Authorities say they believe the shooting was an isolated incident and a possible suspect has been identified. And an intensifying manhunt is ongoing in Washington state. National Guardsmen joining law enforcement officers in their search for 32-year-old Travis Decker, accused of killing his 3 young daughters. Brooke Griffin has the latest.
We're not going to leave any stone unturned.
This was the last time Decker was seen, picking up his 3 children, 9-year-old Peyton, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia, for a planned custody visit on May 30th. Their mother, Whitney, reported them missing hours later when he failed to return them to her home. 3 days later, their bodies were found at a remote campsite. Whitney Decker's attorney, Ariana Coatsart, says Travis Decker was an active parent.
He was going to all the girls' dance, soccer practices, everything, you name it.
Decker, 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 nice.
Whitney would tell you, Travis loves 2 things in this world, those girls and Jesus.
Coatsart says the Afghanistan war veteran was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and struggles with PTSD. Decker is also well-versed in outdoor survival.
It sounds at times that he would go out and would be living off grid for sometimes up to 2.5 months